It's Earth Day. What's up guys, Dan here, Coalcracker Bushcraft. So today is Earth Day and it got me thinking about conservation of resources when it comes to bushcrafters spending time outside, what we should and shouldn't be doing, and how important it really is. All right, so the question that we get asked all the time is, where can I bushcraft? And that's a valid question because you watch these cool videos and I'm doing all this stuff outside and you think I'm getting out there to do it, and then like you think I don't have anywhere like that, but the reality is that you can bushcraft just about anywhere. Yes, believe that or not, you can bushcraft just about anywhere. Now I'm mentioning this because this really feeds into the whole conservation of resource thing that we're going to talk about here in 1 second. But first, like again, asked where we can bushcraft. So the best is going to be if you have your own property or if you have a friend or family that allows you access to their wooded property, that's going to work great. But you can also go to state parks. There's lots of camping areas at state parks, hiking trails, and you can go to these places and you can do a lot of these crafts very low impact and still following all the rules and regulations. And worst case, if you're not by any of those places, you can always do this at home. I have an instructor, Mike, who at his old house, he had a nice patio with an overhang in the back, and he used to do bow drill and knots and carving and all that stuff outside right in his own backyard. Lots of different options, no excuse why you can't get this stuff done. But the biggest holdup generally when it comes to doing these crafts is the rules and regulations in public areas. And that's where Earth Day really got me thinking. So rules and regulations are generally going to be around, you can't cut down any trees and you can't have open fires. And in some situations you can't even camp primitively, meaning you can't like bust trail and just go camp anywhere. They have certain areas for camping. But listen, that should not deter you at all from getting out and enjoying the outdoors and doing some of these skills that we teach. Let's talk about this different stuff. So the easiest one to combat, okay, is going to be the no cutting tree situation, which at the end of the day, a lot of the things that we do, 99% of the things that we do, require very little tree cutting at all. So we're going to use tent pegs for example. We just did a video on them just last week about making tent pegs. So you don't have to go cut greenwood, which is live wood, in order to do that. There's lots of down trees in the woods, especially after the winter time, like right now, early spring. You can go plethora of branches down on the ground, broken tree limbs and stuff like that. You can walk through the woods and gather the materials you need, head back into your spot and sit and carve that stuff. That is causing no environmental impact to the landscape whatsoever. Now the problem that comes into play with that for a lot of people is you're just being a little bit lazy. You find a cool spot, you look around, there's nothing, you think, I'm just going to cut that tree quick. You might have to scour the area a little bit more, but part of bushcrafting is learning to make do with a little bit less. So being able to walk through the woods, find down trees, identify, hey, there's a tree out that way, looking, learning about that stuff is all part of it. And then next is the fire situation. So there are going to be regulations around if you can or can't have a campfire in certain areas, but the easiest way around that is if you rent a campsite at most camping areas, they're going to allow you to have a campfire there. So you can do all your fire making and all your fun stuff right at that campfire ring. You don't have to be in a remote area to do that stuff. You can go for a hike during the day, pick up all your dead branches you need for your projects or your cook systems or whatever it is, head back into your camping area, start your fires, do your firecraft, carve your stuff, make your cook sets, and you're good to go. And all that is happening on public land, which you have access to and is a great resource. So moral of the story when it comes to this, you just got to think outside the box a little bit. This is a very viable option for a lot of people that are out there. Now, some other things just to keep in mind. Number one, if you go to classes, right, and I'm not pushing this because I have a school, but it's fun to go to a class. There's all different schools throughout the country. Pick a class, go out, you're going to meet like-minded people. And the good part about that is the fact that these like-minded people are also looking to go out and do stuff. So I know some of my students that came through the school before, they make friends at the classes, they stay in contact, and then one of those friends, uncles or cousins, have land, and next thing you know, they're all camping there 2, 3, 4 times a year, and they're having a great time with it. So being at that, at classes like that, or being at different events, there's lots of bushcraft gatherings out there you can also attend. You're going to meet people, and it's going to just help broaden your horizons. I hope everybody enjoyed this video. If you did, hit like and subscribe down below. You can also check us out at coalcrackerbushcraft.com for all our classes, our gear, and our blog. And until the next video, stay in the woods.